The rains came, one after another. 3 successive typhoons swept across the country. Each seemed stronger than the last, leaving behind streets turned into rivers and neighborhoods submerged in waist-high floods. Families waded through dirty water, schools were closed, and businesses were paralyzed. The damage was staggering. But what made the devastation worse was the gnawing realization that the billions of pesos poured into flood control over the years were supposed to prevent this very thing from happening. President Marcos took notice. He named 15 contractors who had been awarded massive projects to strengthen the flood defenses. Yet when the waters rose, their work collapsed. The nation demanded answers. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee opened hearings. The House of Representatives launched its own inquiry. But as the investigations dragged on, they became bogged down in politics and finger-pointing. What should have been a search for truth turned into a spectacle of testimonies that went in circles. The president decided to see the situation with his own eyes. He visited flood-stricken areas, inspecting what had been built at great public cost. What he saw appalled him. Shoddy construction, shortcuts taken, concrete walls already crumbling. Proof of a system riddled with corruption and negligence. But worse than substandard work was the discovery of something far more sinister. Ghost projects. Dikes and drainage systems that existed only on paper. Paid for in full, signed off as complete, yet nowhere to be found on the ground. Money had vanished, projects had vanished, and the people were left defenseless against the floods. At this point, it became clear that ordinary congressional inquiries could not break through the web of influence, money, and connections surrounding the infrastructure projects. The president wanted a mechanism that would rise above politics and look directly into the rot that was eating away at the nation's public works. And so, he turned to a bold solution: the creation of an independent commission on infrastructure. The commission's purpose is straightforward but weighty. It is to investigate the scale of corruption, identify the public officials and private contractors responsible, and recommend reforms that could prevent the same tragedy from happening again. Unlike Congress, which was often slowed by partisanship, the ICI is meant to act swiftly, guided by evidence and public interest. Its powers, however, are not limitless. The commission could summon witnesses, demand documents, and expose wrongdoing, but it could not prosecute. It could only shine a light, leaving it to the Department of Justice, the ombudsman, or the courts to take the next steps. This balances both its strength and its limitation. It could reveal the truth, but not enforce justice. Still, the creation of the ICI sent a strong message. The government recognized that the usual processes are failing, and extraordinary times demanded extraordinary measures. Filipinos are hoping that it would produce more than just another paper tiger, more than just another committee that files reports and disappears into history. The floods had left scars, but they also left a demand for accountability. This was the reason the ICI came into being: to cut through the layers of corruption that had long plagued infrastructure projects, to expose the truth behind the billions spent, to uncover ghost projects and substandard work, and to restore public trust in the system. That was supposed to protect them. In the next episode, we will look into the persons chosen to sit on the commission. Who are they, and what made them capable of carrying out such a daunting task?